I always like to ask if you have a target audience that you have in mind to bring in, because, as you probably know, when you're trying to market something and you're trying to have some clear, compelling messaging, you have to speak to, a specific niche of people. Who is your target audience?
That's a complicated question. I
I
can tell
bet.
you traditionally for zoos, aquariums, and for most kinds of museums, if you're talking on an advertising level, your target is going to be mothers 25 to 54. That's
Okay.
going to be the major target you'll do. That they are the decision makers that make a lot of those families
Hmm.
decisions about where they're going to go, what they're going to do.
Hmm.
And so they're probably the primary target. But for us, we're trying to expand well beyond that because honestly, a couple of things. We are the only larger cultural attraction in Seminole County. It's really important to my staff and to me that everyone feels safe and welcome here.
Hmm.
And there are a lot of different groups around this country right now that don't feel safe and don't feel welcome a lot of places.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, we're making efforts to try to make sure that a lot of different communities feel invited.
Right.
Um, Beyond that, we also have the potential as both a zoo and botanical gardens. There are a lot of people that are interested in plants and botanical
Hmm.
gardens and flowers that might not necessarily be interested in animals, and those tend to skew older than our typical demographic a lot of
Right.
times.
Right.
So, we're trying to, in bits and pieces, address those different audiences, but it is a real challenge being a nonprofit in a market where you've got Disney and Universal and
Yes.
SeaWorld and all of those. We'll never have an advertising budget to be top of mind like they are.
Right.
So a lot of our efforts have to go through our social media. They have to go
Hmm.
through our earned media. And that again goes back to why storytelling is so important.
Yes.
If we tell a compelling story
Yes.
and media picks it up, then that increases our advertising budget in its
Yes.
way dramatically.
Yes. And even though Publix has a big ad budget, that the Publix commercials come to mind,
Mhm.
because you have those holiday Publix commercials that make you cry. It's sort of like telling those compelling stories about families connecting at the zoo.
Mhm.
I don't know. These are the things that come to mind, but also the conservation aspect of it too. It seems like even though there's a lot of complexity to what you do and all the different audiences you serve, you are rich with stories to tell.
Mhm. That is one benefit we have that a lot of other organizations don't. We have great visuals, we have great stories,
Yep.
um, and people want to see them. I
Yes.
mean, on social media, what we see as our traffic and our following and our engagement on posts, a traditional business just is not going to get that.
Hmm.
Animals just work for people. Video of
Yes.
animals, one of the most searched things on the web is video cat videos. So
Yes. Yes.
because of that, we have a hard time standing out in the market for what we're able to spend. But when
Right.
in terms of the assets we have to show, we
Yeah.
know that when we are in front of people, they're more likely to engage.